Right. So this class doesn't require any props, and we're going to kind of focus on circles and spirals of the body, internal, external rotation, all this good stuff that helps our body feel good, right? So we can have our feet comfortably under our hips with the toes pointed forward to start with, and just lifting tall through the back of the head, lengthening the spine, taking a few breaths to start to breathe deeper as we inhale, lifting the heels, coming up onto the toes, and exhale back down. So just taking a moment to find the breath and center into our bodies. Arms can come with it or not. Exhale down. My right foot comes about an inch off the ground now. Inhale to lift and exhale. Good. One more time, maybe taking it a little higher, maybe holding a little longer. And exhaling down. And then we'll turn our right knee in, lift it up, open it out, and bring it back. So we're just going to circle the legs. Turn the left knee in, lift it up, circle it around and down. And right knee. So kind of lifting the knee, circling the leg. I'm not very graceful on that side, but see if we can do this nice and smooth, right? Circling that leg in the hip socket. Open, turn in, lift, turn out. Good, and using it for an opportunity to balance, right? As well. Focus on a point. Good, and then when you're even on both sides, just let your legs relax. We'll have our arms out, just out with our palms facing forward, just out by your side, and shrug your shoulders up by your ears, and then shrug them down. Good, and then shrug them up, and just noticing how the shoulders feel like they're water falling down the back when you shrug them down. Okay, so shrug up and shrug down, and stay there with your shoulders down. And we're going to rotate our palms up and look up. So kind of opening the chest here as we inhale. And then on our exhale, we're going to rotate our arms so our palms point to the back. And rotate our arms as we look up to point up. So feeling the rotation as well as the kind of the little bit of a stretch in our upper back and shoulders as we do a little arch and round. So palms face upward, outward, and then palms face to the back as you round. Opening and closing the shoulders from the top of the arm, right? So feel that movement coming from the top of your arm and the shoulder joint, rotating open and closed. Great. And then go ahead and next time we open, bring your arms out and up over your head, interlace the fingers, turn to point the palms toward the ceiling and stretch up. And then just taking a little back bend, right? Looking up as we stretch the palms toward the ceiling. And then let go as you come back up and out. And we'll bring our arms up, taking hold of your right wrist. You're going to take a side bend to the left and just kind of gently pull on that arm to stretch your side. And then turn and look down, just a little turn, look down, and then look forward again and lift up. Take hold of your left wrist, take it over to the right, just gently pulling on that arm to help stretch. Just a little rotation to look down. And then turning to face forward and arms out into this big wide V overhead. Open the feet so that the knees point over the second toe, so heels are turned slightly in. See if you can lift up onto your toes. We're making a big star, right? Now lift the heels if you can and balance. And then heels down. You're just going to let your knees bend a bit to kind of come into that little plie. Good. And then as we inhale, we're just going to relax our pelvis. Just feel it relax. As we exhale, we're going to squeeze, like we're kind of squeezing a ball with our upper thighs and lift up. So inhale, lower down and relax that pelvis. And then exhale, gently squeeze with the inner thighs and lift. So feeling the pelvic floor, right? Inhale, relax. And exhale, squeeze and lift. Good. One more time. Inhale as we relax. Exhale, squeeze and lift. And then bending the knees, we're going to straighten the right knee, straighten the left knee, bend the right knee, bend the left knee. Straighten the right knee, left knee, bend right. So feeling, you can do whatever you want with your arms. Feeling like your body's circling, right? It's going down to the side and up to the side, down to the side and up. And then we'll reverse it. Bend the left knee, right knee, straighten left knee, straighten right knee. Bend, bend, straight, straight, bend, bend, straight. Circling our body. Yeah. And then straightening both legs. Let your arms relax, bring the legs together, hula hoop the hips. And when we circle our hips, we're going to try to circle our rib cage in the opposite direction, which it naturally will do that. So as the hips go forward, the ribs go back. As the hips go to the right, the ribs go to the left, right? So kind of circling your torso as well as your hips. Just kind of circling everything. Letting everything go. And then the other direction. Same thing. And notice if one direction is more challenging to do than the other. Usually it is. Usually there's a little difference. Right? So circling the rib cage and the pelvis. All right. And then go ahead and come to standing, come to the end of your mat or wherever it is you want to be here. And then we're going to roll down. So inhale, letting head and shoulders and arms relax. We're going to roll down and hang. Hands may touch the ground. Let your knees bend and straighten a little bit here as you relax your head and arms, shoulders. And then letting the knees bend as much as they need to, stacking back up, arms are heavy, right? Feeling the pelvis tuck under as we come up to standing, and then we'll roll back down on our exhale, like you're peeling off of a wall, and bringing ourselves all the way down. We'll straighten one leg and then the other, shifting the hips. Letting the hips get a little movement. And then we'll center the hips, walk the hands out into pike or down dog, spreading the fingers wide, lifting the tailbone, and then, of course, letting your body shift side to side as you stretch your heels down, or you might like to shift forward and back as well. And then actually, let's make a circle with our body in this position. So if you stretch your right heel down, let your left knee bend, and kind of shift your body a little bit to the right, a little bit forward toward the arms, bend your right knee, keeping your left leg straight, and bring it back, right? So bend the knee, circle to that direction and forward, and around. So the leg that's straight, that's the side that you're on. And then we'll circle our body the other way. So straightening the left leg as we go to the left and forward, straightening the right leg as we go to the right and back. A little circular movement, shifting the body. And then coming to center, press both heels down, lift the tailbone. And then we'll go ahead and rock a little bit forward, bring our knees down to the mat and come around onto our back. And when we come to our back, we're going to just let our feet be close to our hips and our arms by our side and relax the body here. We're going to breathe, and as we exhale, I'm just going to let your left hip kind of lift off the mat, right? Just a little bit, and then inhale it back down. And then as you exhale, lift your right hip just a little bit off the mat. So basically, we're shifting side to side with our hips, right? So inhale back to center, rock yourself to the left a little bit to lift your right hip. Come back to center, rock yourself slightly to the left. Our legs aren't moving. We're just kind of shifting our pelvis a little bit side to side, right? Feeling like your hips just starting to lift off the mat. And then we'll come center and we'll tilt our tailbone up and then tilt it down, and we'll move in this direction forward and back, which is what we're used to doing, that pelvic tilt, tailbone down, and then tailbone lifts on the exhale. Inhale it down, arching the back, exhale, curling it up. So loosening our low back up, letting it relax, letting the sacrum relax here. And then we're going to put that together. This is called the pelvic bowl. So you can imagine you have a bowl on your belly with a little marble in it, and you want to make that marble go around. So one hip tilts up, and then the tailbone tilts up. The other hip tilts up, and the tailbone tilts down, right? So we're kind of putting that together, moving our sacrum in a circle. You can even put your hands on your belly if you want, or on your hips. And just feel that shifting, right? Without really moving our legs, just our pelvis, and then go the other direction. Really good way to release the low back. Feeling like you're pressing a little circle into the ground with your low back. That's what it should feel like, right? Circling around. Good. And then just relax into your neutral position, arms by your side. We're going to inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to peel off the mat one bone at a time up into our bridge. So adjust your feet as needed. Relax the shoulders. Press the pelvis up. Take a breath. And then let your spine melt down on your exhale, holding the hips up till the end. And then when we come down, relax and inhale. And then again, peel off the mat on your exhale up into your bridge. And then at the top of our bridge, we're going to bring our arms up and over our head. Relax them on the floor, wherever they go behind you on the floor. Let them relax. And then tilt your hip a little bit to the left, and then lower the hip down and press the hips back up. Tilt your right hip a little bit down, lower down and press back up. And then tilt left, lower down and press up. So we're doing a little, almost like a figure 8 kind of movement with our hips. We tilt, we lower, we scoop back to the top without really moving our legs, right? So just kind of moving the pelvis in space. a little figure 8 type of movement. Yeah. Pressing all the way up and then tilting and lowering, hovering, and then pressing back up. All right, next time you press the hips up, stay there. Take an inhale and then melt the spine down one vertebra at a time on your exhale. When your hips come down, just let your pelvis relax. We're going to bend our elbows, clasp our hands behind our head. Inhale as we lengthen, lift those elbows a little bit. Exhale to press head and shoulders up. And then lie back down on the inhale, really supporting our head and neck. Exhale, press up. Relaxing our glutes. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, press up. Inhale, lower down. Good. And then this time we're going to press up and we're going to circle our shoulders. So you're going to take your elbow kind of to the left and then take it down, and then the right elbow to the right and lift up. So think of circling your shoulders, your head and arms to one side and lift up to the other side and lower down. Just making a circle with our upper torso, supporting your head and your neck. And then when we come back to center on the ground, take it the other direction. So take it over to the other side and circle the other direction. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're just kind of doing a little bit of a side bend and lifting up, a little bit of a side bend and lowering down. Getting a stretch through our shoulders. All right, and then when you come to the center, go ahead and relax everything on the ground and sway your legs over to the right and let them relax, keeping our hands clasped behind our head, shoulders on the ground. And then lift the knees and let them sway over to the left. And then lift the legs again, let them sway over to the right. And then we're going to keep them there and we're going to exhale, press the head and shoulders up off the ground. And then we're going to lift the knees back to the top and lie back down as we inhale. And then on the exhale, sway the knees over to the left and press your head and shoulders up. Inhale, lift the legs and lie back down. Keep going like that. Sway to the right and press head and shoulders up. Lift the knees and lie back down. Take the legs to the left. Press head and shoulders straight up. Lift the knees. Lie back down. So making this sort of circle in a sense, right? As we take our knees to one side. Good. And we press up. Lift them up. Lie back down, take the knees to the other side, press up, lift them up, and lie back down. Good. Right, and then next time you lift the knees up, lay back down, you can stay there. And then we're going to bring our legs one at a time up to our tabletop position. Bring the legs together, extend your arms out from your shoulders, and then take your legs over to the right as you inhale. Exhale them back to the top. Take them over to the left as you inhale. Shoulders stay anchored. Exhale back over to the right. Exhale back over to the left. Exhale back. Now, if you want to straighten your legs, you can, or keep them bent. Take them to the right. Exhale back. Take them to the left. Exhale back. And then we're going to make a circle called corkscrew. Take them over to the right. Take your legs away from you, around to the left, and back to the top. Take them over to the left, whether they're bent or straight or whatever. Keep them together. Take them away from you over to the right and back. So we're alternating our circles. Think of that pelvic bowl that we did, where we're making a little circle with our sacrum on the ground, right? Pressing a circle into the ground with our low back, side to side. Maybe your circle gets a little bit bigger as you go. Breathe. And then when you come to the top, wherever you're at, when you come to the top, hug your knees into your chest. Let your body relax. Rock around a little bit here. We're going to open the legs apart. Grab the feet so our knees are open. If you can, grab your feet either on the inside or outside. Maybe pull those knees down toward the ground a little bit so we kind of open our hip more. Let your body rock side to side. And if you want to straighten the legs a little more, maybe open them a little more, rock side to side. And then coming center, bringing our feet together. Hold on to your left foot, stretch your right arm and leg out on the ground, reaching through that heel. Stretch that side. And then bringing our right side together, stretching our left arm and leg, flexing the foot, big stretch. Then both arms, both legs stretch out, and flexing our feet, we're going to reach through one arm and leg and then the other, shifting our shoulders up and down as we stretch, right? Really feeling that big stretch and movement. And then relax and open your legs a little wider, arms out into that wide V, so you feel like an X or a star. Take one hand over to the other, stretch across and reach past that hand. Try to reach past that hand, keeping the leg in the same position. So really stretching through that spirally, it's that spirally movement stretch, right? And then coming onto our back, and we take it to the other side. Reach. And then coming onto our back, we'll bring our feet on the mat, bend the knees, sweep the arms down, and if you can, roll up or hold on to your legs to roll up to sitting. We'll lift our sits bones with our legs out in front of us. They might need to be a little bit bent because we're going to bring our pelvis forward first and then stretch over the legs. So just taking a little stretch over the legs here. We're going to sit up, make a diamond with your legs, with the feet together, knees open, feet up away from you. Stretch forward over the legs. We can really let our legs and hip relax here. Go ahead and sit up, lift the knees up, keep the legs together and reach forward. We're going to inhale, and then as we exhale, just letting your tailbone curl under and rounding back. You feel your sacrum on the ground, shoulders relaxed, right? Keeping the curl of that tailbone. And we're going to take our arms over to the left, and we're going to kind of sweep them down and around and up and take them over to the right. Again, a figure 8. Sweep them down and back and up, and then take them over to the left. So keeping the legs together will help us hold our lower body still as we rotate our torso like a wave. You could think of a wave motion, right? The waves coming in, and then it's lifting up, waves coming in, or a figure 8 kind of movement. And breathe. Nice and big. Right. And then coming back to center, go ahead and grab hold of your legs, pull yourself back up. There we go. Then we're going to stretch our legs out in front. We're going to focus more on the shoulder rotation now. So the back of the hands are going to face each other. Palms are going to face out. So we're internally rotating our shoulder, right? If you need to let your knees bend and straighten as you roll up and back, that's fine. You don't have to keep your legs straight. So inhale. As you exhale, we're going to round all the way down. Take the arms up over our head. Sweep them around. Palms are going to face up as we roll back up. And then take a stretch over the legs. And then again, turn your palms to face out. Roll back. So the back of our hands face each other. Arms up. Sweep them around. Palms face up. So now we're externally rotating our shoulders. Switch over the legs. Again. Palms facing out, roll back, sweep, breathe, exhale up, palms face up. Again, you can let your legs be bent or they can bend and straighten, whatever works for you. We want to focus on the shoulders, right? Forgot to turn them in. So you want to internally rotate on the way down. Externally rotate on the way up. When you come to the top of this one, you might need to pull your pants up like I do, and go ahead and take a stretch. Today I'm wearing slippery pants. Okay, so we're going to take hold of our right leg, and we're going to roll onto our back. And you're just going to stretch that leg into your chest and in towards your right shoulder. And then holding onto that right knee with your right hand, put your left hand on your left hip and circle your knee with your hand, keeping your hip stable. So just make a circle. Yeah, circle it in, out, and down. In, up, out, and down. Just kind of relaxing it in the socket. Good. And then coming to center, straighten your leg to the ceiling, grab hold of it, and then just climb up and stretch your leg toward your head toward your leg. Maybe holding onto your calf. Maybe wherever you can hold on. Everybody's different, I know. You can bend and straighten your knee. And then we're going to clasp our hands behind our head while we're here. Lie your head and shoulders down on the ground. And then take your leg across your body as straight as you can. So it might bend a little bit, but really reach through. Think of reaching through your heel as you cross your body and keeping your shoulders anchored. And then lift the leg up. And then open it out to the right side. Keeping it nice and high and straight. And then lift it up. Take it across the body again. And keeping shoulders anchored, reaching through that leg. Lift it up. Open it out. Really reaching through our left leg and anchoring our left leg at the same time. Right? And again, take it across. And lift up. And open. And lift up. Now keep your leg here, inhaling. As you exhale, press head and shoulders up, and then turn a little bit to the right. So we're pointing our left elbow towards our right knee, and you're just going to do a little pulses toward that to the right side, right? So pulsing in that rotation, pulsing up and slightly to the right, elbow toward knee. Good, breathe. Just very small movement. Then stop and come back to center. Relax your head and shoulders down. And then take your leg across your body, sweep it down, around, and land at the top. So leg circles with your hands behind your head, slightly more challenging. Big circle. Bend the knee if you need to. Doesn't have to be a straight leg. And then at the top, reverse your circles out, down, across, and lift. Anchoring that left leg onto the ground. Yeah, nice big circle. And then when you come to the top, grab a hold of your leg with your hands. Let your knee bend and pull it in. And then lift your head and shoulders. You're going to press your leg into your hands to roll up, but keep that leg up there and climb up the leg. So we're going to stretch that leg towards our belly. Good. And then taking our left hand to the outside of the foot. Your right hand behind you. And look back. So we're twisting to the right. And then come back to face the leg. Take your left hand to the inside of your foot, left hand behind you, and then turn to the left. So we're twisting with our leg up. Right? That's all. And then come back around to face that leg. Lower it down. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you. Okay. And then draw your left leg in. I'm laughing at myself. Okay, pull that knee in as you stretch your knee in towards your shoulder and towards your chest. Stretch the legs away from each other. And then holding onto your knee with your left hand, right hand on your right hip. Just give it a circle and just let it relax in the socket there. Let that leg relax and circle. And then bringing it to center, straighten the leg, climb up and give it a good stretch here. Of course, you can move your foot. Forgot to mention that. You can always move your foot when you're stretching your leg. And then we're going to clasp our hands behind our head, lie back down. Take your leg across your body to the right, anchoring your shoulders, keeping that leg as straight as you can, and then lift it up, open it out to the side. Good. Exhale up. Take it across the body, really stretch through that leg and maybe even your heel, right? And then lift up, open the leg out, lift up. And again, take it across the body, straightening that leg as much as you can, anchoring the shoulders, lift it up, open it out to the side, and lift it up and keep it there, inhaling. As you exhale, press head and shoulders up and turn a little bit to the left so your right elbow points towards your left knee. Just pulse, little tiny pulses up. So elbow toward knee. It's okay if your leg is bent, however much it needs to. Good. Little pulse into the obliques. Starting to feel them. All right, lay back down. And then take the leg across again, circle it down, around, and land at the top. Cross, down, around, and stretch through that right leg, anchor that right leg. You can let your knee be bent though in that left leg, and then open it out, circling the other direction. Breathe. And then when you come to the top of your circle, release your hands, grab hold of your leg, let that knee bend a little bit, pull it in, lift the head, and then you're going to climb up with that leg up at an angle and give it a stretch at the top. So pulling your belly towards your leg towards your belly. Taking our right hand to the outside of that left foot, left hand behind us, twist to the left. And pulling that leg a little bit across your body, you're really going to feel that in the outer and back of your leg there, the outside and back of the leg. And then come around with your left hand on the inside of the foot, right hand behind us, twist to the right. And back, face the leg. You can go ahead and lower it all the way down. You might want to give your legs a little shake, a little bit of movement, releasing them. Right, and then we're going to come on to our side. I'm going to scooch my mat a little bit. So go ahead and come on to one side. You can either be on your elbow like that, or you can lie on your arm, whichever you prefer, with your knees in a half bend, right? You're going to just lift the feet a little bit, open that top knee, and close it. And then we're going to open it and close it again. And then this time we're going to open it and then lift the foot and then turn the knee in to bring it back and then close the foot. So open the knee, lift the foot, turn the knee in, foot follows. So knee begins the movement and the foot just follows after the knee. Open, open, close, close. Open, open, and it's like a figure eight, right? So see if you can kind of think of a figure eight movement with that open, open, close, close, open, open, close, close. And we're just internally, externally rotating in that hip socket. Open, close, close. Good. And then go ahead and let the legs relax down. Now take your top leg and swing it back as far as you can, pull, and then swing it forward and swing it back, pull, and forward and back. And then again, forward and back, and circle it up and around and back, up and around. Yeah, so a nice circle of that leg in the hip socket. Remember, I said it's about circling and moving internally, externally, rotating things. All right, reverse your circle. So good for our body. The next time your legs come together, go ahead and relax them all the way. Just let them go. And we're going to come up onto our elbow this way. So your elbows under the shoulder. And take your top leg straight down. And we're going to reach our top arm forward, and really press into the ground with that bottom arm. Take your leg back. And then as you swing your leg forward, you're going to swing your arm back. So you're just going to swing the arm in opposition to the leg. So just right as you press into the ground. Exhale. Inhale. Just breathe. Swing. Swing. A little bit of a twisting motion. Great. And the next time the leg goes back, go ahead and bend the knee and let it relax behind that front leg or the top leg. And then you're going to take this top arm, lift it up, and then dive under your shoulder. Do a little thread the needle here. And then come up back to facing forward and lifting up into mermaid, or whatever you can do with your legs that's close to that. Take a side bend. I know it isn't always possible to take the back leg to that leg to the back, right? A little side bend here. And then we're going to take this top leg, or this leg that's in back, we're going to cross it over the bottom leg, and your bottom leg may need to be straight. It may be okay being bent, whatever you can do. Hug your knee in. There goes a siren. Lift your spine and press that hip into the ground. Right? And then you might want to just kind of wrap that hand, and we'll bring this other hand, whatever hand is to the back behind you, and just lengthen and spiral back. So we want to make sure we lengthen our spine before we twist. So just take a little twist here. And then stay in your twist, but move your head to look over your front shoulder. And then take your head back to look over your back shoulder. And then facing forward, you can either lean forward over your leg for a little bit more stretch, or if it's better for you to come into that figure 4, you can just go like that, right? Whichever one you prefer, just take a moment to stretch the hip a little bit. Right, and then we'll come back around to uncross our legs and come onto our other side. Again, you can be either lying all the way on your arm, or just drop your head on your hand there, making sure the knees are stacked in that half bend of our legs here. Hips are stacked. Lift the feet a little bit and just open that top leg and close. So again, we're working on getting external rotation, opening of our hip. We open and close. Open and close. And then we're going to open, lift the foot, turn it in to close, foot follows, knee lifts, foot lifts, knee dives back down, foot follows. So making a figure 8, externally rotating and internally rotating. See how much movement. You might even want to put your fingers on that hip joint and see how much you can open it and close it, right? How much movement can we get in this hip joint as we breathe? This side for me needs a lot of work, a lot more help. All right, and then next time you close, relax the legs down and then take a moment and then lift the top leg and swing it back. Really pull it back and feel that stretch. And then swing it forward and back and forward, and back and forward. And taking it into a circle as we reach back, we lift and circle it around, back and lift and around. Again, how much mobility can we get in our hip socket here? And then when we bring it back, we can reverse our circle up and back and around. Nice big circle. And the next time our legs meet, we can relax them together and then come up onto your elbow under the shoulder. Extend that top leg. Bring your arm forward as you bring your leg back. Stretch forward, and then just take your arm back as your leg kicks forward. Flex and point. And flex and breathe. Next time our leg goes back, go ahead and let it bend and relax on the ground back there. Lift that top arm up and pressing into the ground. We're going to round and take a thread the needle through under that arm. So a little stretch for the shoulder. And then come back through and up to mermaid, or whatever you can do that's somewhat a mermaid. Take a side stretch. Some modification of the mermaid. And then we'll lift up and cross that back leg over the top leg. This bottom leg may need to be straight like I need on this side. So you're going to hug your knee in, lengthen your spine, maybe wrap that other arm around, spiral back into twist. As you pull the leg in, pressing the hip into the ground, breathe. And then staying in our twist, we're going to take our head to look over our front shoulder. And then bring it back to look over our back shoulder. And then facing forward, either with the legs stacked, stretch over your legs for a little hip stretch, or just bring that bottom leg up into a little figure 4. Stretch here, just to kind of get into that hip. Okay, we'll bring ourselves to our all fours now. Just begin. We're going to begin by another circle, right? Another circling. So you're going to circle your hips, curl the tailbone under, take them to the right, up to the left. And then as we circle our hips in this direction, we're going to take our rib cage in the opposite direction, which you really don't need to think about because it happens naturally, automatically. So kind of exaggerate that circling though. So as the hips go one way, the rib cage will naturally go the other way. And maybe the head can be let go as well. If that doesn't make you dizzy, you can let your head go. And then we'll go the opposite direction, just like we did when we were standing. Maybe we can go the opposite way. Opposite circle, yeah. And then come center. You're gonna let your tailbone curl under, tuck your toes, let your tailbone curl under to round your back, and then float your knees off the ground. Just hover and breathe. Go ahead and lower the knees. Go into an arch so you're looking forward. Your back is arched. Press your hips back to your heels. Looking forward. And then lift up. Let your back round. Float your knees and hover. And lower the knees. Arch and look forward. Press hips back to your heels as you look forward. And come up to one more time. Curl the tailbone under. Float the knees. Lower the knees. And let your feet relax on the ground. We're going to come onto our belly. So come into Sphinx with your elbows under your shoulders. And I promised we wouldn't miss the back work on this class because last time we did. But we did other back work last time actually. Okay, so finding our Sphinx pose, right? Our elbows into the ground. You're just going to put your hands face down and slowly straighten your arms a little bit more. Maybe adjust your hands so that they move around a little farther out from wherever they need to be, right? Just find that place, shoulders down, and then look down. So just kind of rounding that upper back. Let your head drop or look down. And then lift back up. And just turn and look over one shoulder. And back to center and look over your other shoulder. And back to center. And then let your arms slide out over your head as wide apart as they need to be, right? In that V position. Pick up your right leg and take it across your left leg, stretching right arm away from your right leg. And then bring that leg back and lift up your left leg. Take it across your right leg, reaching back away from your left arm. Arm reaching away from leg. And bring it back. There we were. We're going to reach through arms and legs, float them up off the ground like you're flying. Right? Just breathe here. And then take your left arm down by your side as you're right arm reaches up, and then take your right arm down as your left arm reaches up. And then we're going to just kind of like a helicopter. You're going to go side to side and just look in the direction of that arm that's reaching for your foot. So you're following that arm back and then switching, following that arm back and then coming back. Just hovering off the ground. Good. And then we're going to bring both arms out from our shoulders. Bend your elbows, pull those elbows in towards your waist. See if you can lift up a little higher and hover. Right, just hover over the mat. Lift a little bit more and relax down. And then with our arms on the ground, we're going to lift our head and chest up and press into the hands to come up as high as we're comfortable in our swan or cobra, and then lower back down. And then again, lifting out and up, and then pressing into the hands, right? And then you're going to continue up to the knees. Stretch back to our heels here. You might like to have your knees apart, whatever feels good to you in this child's pose stretch. And then coming up to sitting. Hey, there's never enough time in an hour, you know? There's never enough time in the day, they say. I said, there's never enough time in the hour. Okay, so sitting in, if you can sit with your legs in a straddle, that would be ideal. So maybe you, the knees a little bent, but use your hands behind you to sort of press yourself forward so that you can sit tall. So back flat, just pressing yourself forward will help us sit tall. Good. And then we're going to bring our arms out. We're going to rotate over to one side. Take your arms to the back, and you're going to do a little push-up. Bend your elbow. That front leg lifts up, and then press yourself up and come back around. So I need more room. I'm going to move up. Okay, and then rotate to the other side. Arms behind you. You're going to bend your elbows as you lift that front leg. Lower your chest and then come back up and around. Okay, so rotate over to the first side. Take a little dive down and back. Rotate, elbows bend, take a little push up there and back. And then one more, or until you're even on both sides, right? And then we'll go into the forward saw for a few stretches. Once you're even on both sides, take it to the front, stretch across, and then lift up, rotate, and stretch across, back, nice and tall, rotate, and breathe. When you're even on both sides, or you feel stretched out a little bit, you can stop the top, relax the arms, give the shoulders a little roll. And also lengthening our spine, we're just going to take make a little circle with your nose, right? Like circling your head that way. And it releases the neck. Simple way to release the neck. And circle both directions. However big that circle wants to be. Good. All right, and then come center. Thank you all for coming. I'll go ahead and do this here. Go.